As an automotive journalist, I'm fortunate enough to drive a new car every week, thanks to you guys. And today, I'm going to give you my take on the brand new 2014 Honda Accord Hybrid, and that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. All right, here we go, up close and personal with the brand new 2014 Honda Accord Hybrid. Now, the old Hybrid had an electric motor basically sandwiched into the transmission. What makes this car unique and special is that there is no transmission. In fact, there are now 3 drive modes. There's an EV mode where it'll go in electric mode only for about a half a mile. You hit a hill or you hit the accelerator, no EV mode. There is a kind of an in-between mode, which isn't that important. The mode that it's mostly in is hybrid mode, and in that case it works just like a Volt. It has this 2-liter engine that generates electricity, which powers the battery, which powers the front wheels, and that's the mode that you're in most of the time. And what's really astounding about that is it gets 50 mpg in the city, which actually blows away the Camry Hybrid. If you do the math, the Hybrid is about $3,600 more expensive than a comparably equipped non-hybrid Accord. So at about $3 a gallon, that means you'll recoup that $3,600 in about 5 to 6 years, and that's a long time. So is it worth it? You know, I believe it is, because it's really cool and really fun the way all the electronics work together to make a car that's this big get 50 mpg in the city. Very impressive indeed. What distinguishes the Hybrid is that you've got this blue, the new green highlight that goes around the light. You also have it in the grille, and you have these painted black wheels. I'm not a big fan of painted wheels, so I wish they'd stuck with something more traditional. But unlike the MDX, you do have these jewel-like headlights, and they're basically 2 small little projector bulbs. And here you only have 2. In the Acura MDX, and of course Acura is Honda's luxury brand, you have 4, and it looks a little bit bug-eyed. But here, the 2 work. And in fact, the whole thing works. It looks like a regular Accord, except for the stickers and the blue surrounds. Now, there is a significant difference in the back of the Honda Hybrid Accord, and that's not this hybrid sticker. No, you'll find that in the trunk. You get a little bit less trunk space and you get a little bit less utility, because back here is where the battery lives. Lithium-ion battery, which means that you can't fold the seats down. So if you have something like skis or perhaps even a small bike, it will not fit in this vehicle whatsoever. I get to drive this car for a week, so I get to live with it for quite a while. The other thing that I get is an Accord that is stuffed to the gills with every conceivable creature comfort. They always give us the cars that are fully loaded, so of course we have keyless entry. But here's something cool that you may not be aware of. Tommy, come over here, check this out. Right down here is the fuel filler and the release for the trunk. Now you can lock that, and the question you may be asking yourself is, how do I lock that when there's no key? Well, here's how you do it. You take the key fob, and of course you get the little blue here, and you pull the key out right there, and you come down here and you lock it. Once you show them, it's now locked. And so let's say that you park this car and you don't want the valet getting at the trunk. You can't open it, you can't get at the gas. Pretty cool. And of course, this key that lives in this fob is also good if the power goes out and you in fact do need to use a key to either lock or get into the vehicle. All right, let's talk about the interior. Now, I'm a big fan of this new interior. Every place I touch, every place I look, looks expensive and feels expensive. And that's a testament to how much work Honda put into this car to make it a premium vehicle. Of course, this isn't an Acura, but it's that close to being an Acura. Now, the first thing you notice when you get into the car and start it up is that there's this brand new instrument cluster, and the center of it is this huge speedometer which says 140 miles or 220 kilometers. Will it do 140 miles per hour? I'm not sure. I hope it does. The other thing you notice is that they've kind of cleaned this up a little bit. There used to be a lot more buttons here. Now the buttons are big, and They're a little bit more intuitive. It's something that my mom would feel more comfortable with. Not completely comfortable, but more comfortable. And let me show you what I mean. Take a look at this center section here. How would you turn on and off the radio? You see the on and off switch? Normally you would do it that way, but in fact that is now just the volume knob. In order to turn the radio on and off, there's a power knob right there. It's kind of hidden. Took me a while to figure that out. It also took me a while to get kind of friendly and happy with their interface. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 screens that you can get your information from. What isn't hard to figure out are these switches right here, the heated seats. And in a hybrid, heated seats are actually a really smart feature because it takes a lot more energy to heat the cabin than it does to heat the seats. So if you turn the heat down and you turn on your heated seats, you'll actually be saving energy, which means you'll get better fuel economy. And this car is really all about getting good fuel economy. But it's also about the ability to drive a car and not feel like you're driving an appliance. The Toyota Camry, which we just reviewed, is in essence like driving a refrigerator. It's a very well built, high quality car, but there's not a lot of engagement. Now remember how I was talking about an EV mode, an electric vehicle only mode. I can put the car in drive and all of a sudden it'll tell me which way the energy is flowing. So right now, as you can tell, the battery is powering the car and the little EV light is on, which means that I'm in EV mode only. But if I hit the EV button, what it'll say is that it's on, but let's see how far I can get. I bet you I can't get very far before the engine turns on. And I'm about to floor it. Let's see how far we get. All right, this isn't working. I'm getting too far. I was hoping that it would stop, but apparently I have an almost full battery and the car will let me drive in EV mode. But let's see what happens if I floor it. You ready? EV mode canceled. That's the point I was trying to make. If you really want to drive in EV mode, then you might want to get the plug-in version of this Accord. The downside of that is it's a little bit like the Prius. It only goes about 13 miles on a full charge. Let me show you something really fun about this car. Right here at the end of the turn signal stalk is a little button, and when you push it, you get this side camera. And that's a little camera that's mounted on the rear view mirror that's on the right side. And every time you turn on the turn signal, you actually see that view. So if there's somebody in your blind spot, or if there's a bicyclist on your right side, on your passenger side, then you'll be able to see him. Let me show you. Turn signal. Turn signal. Isn't that cool? Now if you go the other way, unfortunately there's no camera on the driver's side. I'm not really certain why Honda decided to put it on one side. I think they feel that over here it's a little bit more visible than over there. So here's my bottom line on this Accord Hybrid. With technology that's this complicated, there comes a lot of features. There's a lot of really cool safety that you get. Lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, just a lot of stuff that makes this car a tour de force when it comes to its ability to keep you safe and sound on the road. It's also incredible in terms of fuel economy. To have a full-size sedan that can comfortably take 5 people across the country and still get 50 miles to the gallon in the city is mind-blowing, for me at least. Now, would I get this car if it were my money? You know, I'd still probably go for the sport version with the manual transmission, because at the end of the day, the amount of driving fun and the amount of road feel, to me at least, is more important than the amount of technology stuffed into this vehicle. But you know what? This is coming right up the list because I love technology, I love the newest technology, and I love trying to figure out all this stuff that makes this car such a phenomenal and technological tour de force. As always, this has been Roman reporting for the Fastlane Car. Thanks for watching, and thanks for checking out my take on the brand new 2014 Accord Hybrid.